Welcome to a very special Punters Guide live from Epsom Racecourse. Doesn't this place look absolutely fantastic? We had quite a bit of rain, but we're all set fair for a brilliant Betfred Derby festival, Jason. We're looking forward, of course, to the Betfred Derby card on Saturday. What does it mean to you this race? We've heard about all the jockeys saying it's the one they all want to win. How did you feel when you weighed out to ride in this great race?
You've got to think you're going to win. You've got to believe, haven't you? That is for sure. And I was lucky coming in on a 2,000 guineas winner. All right, he'd gone up and he was beaten at York, but he was turning up in tip-top form. Finished fourth. Probably went a little bit early, but never mind.
We won't mention that. And Frankie, for you, the atmosphere of this place, it's just great walking through these gates, isn't it?
It's brilliant. I love it. And the fact that it's just 2 days, each day with their own classic. It's punchy. You know what you're getting. Everyone turns up, has a good time. It's a Friday and Saturday, so the weekend's here. Punters love it. And yeah, it's a fun one, isn't it?
It is. We've got 5 brilliant races to look forward to on Saturday. But before we go there, this is fantastic. This is some great atmosphere. But I want to congratulate this man on my right, because talk about siren champions. Your son Tyler's qualified for the US Open. That is a fantastic achievement at Oakmont.
Yeah, he's gonna peg it up next Thursday at Oakmont. So looking forward to it. Obviously had a fairly busy schedule work-wise next week, but the bosses have been kind enough to let me go. So yeah, Weaverville on a bit of a road trip.
And how do you feel? I mean, you're so proud to think Max is going to win his bag as well.
Yeah, Max, look, they get on great. I've had a nice little chat with Max, and he spoke to Claire Fleetwood, Tommy, and his caddy, and his caddy's going to take Max around on the Monday. Listen, it's a wonderful experience. Let's go and give it a rip. He's 1,000 to 1 at the moment. I'll have a bit of that.
Very well. No, fingers crossed. Great achievement, and best luck to Jason and obviously Tyler and Max and Fiona as well. Have a great time at Oakmont. Well, let's try and find you a few winners then before this man jets off stateside. Then we're starting at 1 o'clock here on the Saturday afternoon. It's a Princess Elizabeth Stakes over the extended mile. 11 very decent fillies go to post, Jason.
Yeah, it's a real good renewal. We've got quite a few in here that are up in the triple digits. Skellet is a half-sister to Skitter Scatter, and she needed her drop out of group company back into listed when we last saw her winning at Sandown. Got a real high pronounced knee action. Any rain that falls is going to be in her favour.
Part of it this week as well. So Jason with Skellet, what do you fancy, Frankie?
I wouldn't mind a bit of Bermuda Longtail. Just the step forward she took from Kempton to her last start, I thought was really, really impressive, and probably definitely a filly on the up. So yeah, I'm backing her on, hoping for some more improvement here.
There we are then, 2 against the field for the Princess Elizabeth. It opens this 8 race card on Betfred Derby Day. Let's move on to the Betfred Diamond Stakes then at 1:35. The same trip over the extended mile. 9 set to go to post here, and again it's one of those races where the ground could be key.
Yeah, I think so. Royal Playwright, he's been in the news because I think he's going to go in one of the big sales that we have sort of mid-season. He's not really lived up to the hype, but he's still got a bit of potential. Persica's on a recovery mission, but for me, Dockland's put up a great performance behind Sardinian Warrior. Sardinian Warrior has gone out and given the form a bit of a boost over in France, so there's a lot to like about Dockland's. Small field, comes from the back of the pack. I think that'll suit him.
There we are then, Docklands and for Jason. I guess next stop for him will be the Queen Anne at Royal Ascot. Frankie, do you agree?
Royal Dubai, who finished behind Docklands at Ascot for me. I thought Docklands was really impressive, and as Jay said, Sardinian Warriors backed that form up, and I think could potentially be a Royal Ascot winner in the opening race. He looked really, really smart. I'm just hoping the form can be turned around based on track. Obviously on that straight track at Ascot, Docklands is really, really good at Ascot and has been in the past. Royal Dubai ran a good race in this last year. Maybe give him a little bit of an edge on Docklands, given that he was coming back from Dubai on that race at Ascot. So just a few factors might swing the form back in his favour here at Epsom, because as we know, course form matters, doesn't it?
Gone for the Italian, and obviously they managed to win the Italian Derby earlier in the week, didn't they? So the team are in great form.
They certainly are. Right, we've got the first of 2 dashes then. You can see this beautiful track behind us, one of the fastest 5 furlongs in the world, although I'm not sure we're going to be breaking records with the rain softening around this weekend. The first of the 2 dashes is for the 3-year-olds only. 18 go to post. It's only been run twice before. Both times it went back up north.
Yeah, it's a funny race, isn't it? They clock a ridiculous time. I was lucky enough to win it on double quick. 53.8 she came down the strip here, but that has absolutely been smashed out of the water since. But she was rocket quick. I'm going to go for a high drawn runner, Cape Sovereign, who was behind a couple of these when they ran up at York, but was caught out on a wing there, drawn in stall number 1, made a huge middle move into the contest, and then got a little bit tired right on top of the line. So I think that Cape Sovereign's an each-way play. Holly Doyle up against the paint.
It is that type of race, though, an each-way race. And I think you're right. Just talk about the draw on the sprint course. I know Caspian Prince and a couple have won it from stall 1 or lower stalls, but usually just to be paid to be up against this paint on this side.
Yeah, if there's any dig in the ground. I mean, just on a good racing surface or slightly quicker, they can win from anywhere. There's a road that is about 160, 70 yards after you've jumped from the starting stalls. And if you miss it and you get it on the wrong stride, your race is gone. You've lost it in the first furlong.
Yeah, interesting little quotes there. Obviously, a man who's ridden this track many times. Frankie, what do you fancy the 3-year-old dash?
Quite like Blinky out of 17. Ran a good race up at Chester. The favourite of this, Ruby's Profit, was second in that race. I think Ruby's Profit's gone up almost £10 since then, and we haven't seen Blinky since, so potentially slightly well handicapped on that form. And just looking at the race at Chester, he was worse positioned than the two that finished in front of him and still managed to get into that third place and finish the race strongly. So I'm hoping a bit of untapped potential for Anthony Britton as well, and he's 2 from 3, and the only other defeat was that one I spoke about at Chester, so could be a horse on the up.
Yeah, Blinky, I said this race twice been run. It's gone to Northern Stables from a high draw, and Blinky fits those trends as well. Then we've got the dash for the older horses as well, the traditional dash, and lots of old favourites in AJ, including 2 previous winners.
Yeah. Also, you'll notice that you don't often see the absolute peak names in these 2 races, do you? So something going forward that'll probably have a little bit of a rejig, I should imagine, because you're not getting to see them boys before the big Betfred Derby. But with the older sprinters, again, more experienced, a bit gnarly. Fascinated to see how Desert Cop gets on at an each-way price for George Baker. Drawn really well. Has been running okay over in Bahrain. The drop to the minimum for a horse who can be keen with a slight dig in the ground is probably going to be ideal. Lots of old favourites in there, as you mentioned, at the top of the pack, Clarendon House, JM Jungle, Vintage Clarets. We know all about them, don't we?
Look about Vintage Clarets, don't we?
Oh, yeah. And he's drawn in 2. Watch it, he'd probably go and win from 2. But I think Desert Cop is the wrong price each way.
There we are, the Desert Cop, and it's that type of each-way race, Frankie.
It's an old favourite for me, Clarendon House at the top of the weights. Maybe, you say we know everything about them, and we do. We've seen him race time and time again, especially here as well. The only thing that has changed that's been going well for him is his jockey. Sean Levy must be getting on well with him, because he's won at Southwell on him, beating Marshman, a very good sprinter, and then ran a good race in the group race at Newmarket on the Betfred 2000 Guineas card. So if there was any untapped potential left in the old boy, it might be him and Sean's partnership, and he rides him again on Saturday. So I think, yeah, big run from top weight.
Off top weight, then Clarendon House for Frankie. Then it's the big one. 3:30, the Betfred Derby. I mean, you can see behind us, we're very fortunate to be in this position overlooking the track, and right in the distance you can see the big Betfred signs of that 1 mile, 4 furlong and 10-yard start. 19 stalls they occupy, Jason. Just as ridden in the race, just how important is the draw? I know significance has been made of it this week, especially with the bigger field. I think the key is that slight right-handed kink just after the start.
Yeah, it's going to be rough and ready with 19 runners, and you can find yourself in a bad position from an early stage. Right-handed, switchback left. A lot will happen when they've, you're fairly gentle going up round the first right-hander, but when you switch back over to the right, holding your position is so key, because then you'll find that middle rhythm tempo of the race where you've got your position. And you have to see, you can't change it from there. If you're 4 wide, you're in no man's land. If you're way back but on the paint, you're going to have to ride for luck. It's happened before. Adayar, you saw him. Yeah. Adam Kirby weighted down on the fence, and it opened up beautifully. Jockeyship at an absolute premium.
It is, and Frank, obviously the market reacted to the draw as well on Thursday. It's been a topsy-turvy market for a couple of weeks now, but as Jay said, the draw is the key part of the race.
Yeah, it's fascinating even to hear Jace talk about it there, and as we look at it, it's just such a unique race, isn't it? And that's what makes it special, is not only do we have the best 3-year-olds, but we also have how the race might unfold from the start right the way to Tatton Corner and turning for home. So there's a lot to consider. You do definitely need a bit of luck, but at the same time, you like to feel that if you've got the right jockey on the right horse, they should be able to make it happen. There will be some hard luck stories, but it's a true test of jockeyship and of the thoroughbred. So I'm looking forward to it. My selection's drawn slightly higher than I'd like, but good enough. We'll get on to that.
We'll come to that in a minute. The other point I want to make is as well, the top of the racecourse, 6 furlongs, how high it is, and then that drop all the way down. Like I say, it's the ultimate test, but your horse has got to handle this track, hasn't it?
So, we can look across from here and you think, oh yeah, that's a nice gentle climb over there. It's 52 metres from the bottom end up to the top there, higher than Nelson's Column. So it takes a real good bit of getting. You can't use too much petrol going up the hill. You're never going to get back down. I always talk, high rocks is a massive thing now, isn't it? So speed, stamina, balance, a lot comes into play. And also the mental aspect. This place would be absolutely rocking, how they handle themselves early.
It's a mile and a half down to the start to gallop mile and a half back. Right, taking all that into account, we've got 19 thoroughbreds here looking for classic glory. Which one comes out on top?
Well, there's been a huge carrot dangled, hasn't there, for people to have a go at. And it's great that the 2,000 guineas winner is turning up, bidding to sort of punch his ticket going into what would be an amazing Doncaster St Ledger. The stamina is a little bit of a concern, but the team, they were so bullish about him staying prior to the 2000. They thought that was on the limit for him speed wise. So look, I've got to stick with him. I think it bodes well for the huge carrot.
I mean, he's
2 million.
He's bred beautifully, isn't he,
Yep.
to stay? I guess
He's out of American Triple Crown when he justified 1 over a mile and a half. High Chaparral is in the damn line, won the Derby over a mile
City
and a
of Troy
half.
didn't do too badly
City of
last
Troy,
year.
exactly. So, I mean, there's things there that think he will stay.
Yeah, massive. Yeah. Just the thing is, because of the 19, it will be run at a proper tempo. So if there is any slight sort of dent, that's going to be a bit of a worry. And you've got some horses in here who are bred to stay. There's horses at huge prices that will run well as well.
Yeah, we all 4 places each way, so obviously don't think discount those at bigger prices. Something usually hits the frame at a decent price. What are you going for, Frankie?
I've got to stick with Pride of Aris, I think, on the basis that, to me, he looks the one that may have a bit of X factor about him. He might not, what we saw in the Dante might be it, and then he might not improve from that. But just the way that he went through the field, the way that Rosser rode him with a lot of confidence, the way that Rosser didn't really ask him for too much, I'm hoping that when he does properly get asked, there could be something special about him. He's drawn in 16, which is... Yeah, it's on the high side of where you want to be.
16.
But yeah, that's the
they're
hoodoo.
to be broken, aren't they? They're to be broken.
You just hope that he can relax early on. I think that's the key, isn't it? You don't want to get out of a rhythm. You don't want to be asked to do things too early that you don't want to do. If he can settle, and I guess you'd be a little bit more confident with the way that he went through the field at York, that at least if he's slightly further back than preferred, albeit relaxed, he might be able to try and do the same again and pick him off.
There we are then, Pride of Irish for Frankie, ruling court for Jason, £2 million up for grabs, of course, with our Betfred Triple Crown. He's a third of the way there, ruling court. Can he add the Betfred Derby? Then all roads will lead to the Doncaster Betfred St Ledger. Brilliant racing prospect, 90 set to go to post, 3:30 on Saturday, the Betfred Derby, run here on the famous Epsom Downs. Right, let's get the best bets then of the weekend. What would yours be, Jason?
For Saturday, for Saturday, I think that I've got to stick with. I think Desert Cop is the wrong price in the sprint. He's got the draw. He's got a wonderful pedigree that the Andrew Balding team have done incredibly well with. This is the ideal test for him. It's a tough one, the sprint, but he'll be suited to the test.
Well, then Desert Cop, regulating these type of contests. Frankie, strongest bet Saturday?
Can I go in a race we haven't covered?
Yes, please.
After the Derby, after the Betfred Derby, Dream Harder, who just got his nose in front up at Chester last week or the weekend before, might have just come back into a bit of form, and he fought off a fast improving horse, Charmaine, who I think might turn out to be half decent, and he still remains relatively well handicapped on his best form. So Dream Harder for Ian Williams to back up his Chester to Epsom.
There we go. So that's the 5 o'clock. No, what is it? 5:40.
4:15 is
4:15,
it? 4:15. Yeah, Dream Hard at 4:15 for me.
4:15, then Dream Hard at 4 Frankie. After the ITV cameras are gone off air, right? Cannot wait for this Betfred Derby Festival to get underway. Best luck wherever you are back in. 3:30 Saturday afternoon. Make sure you're tuned in for the Betfred Derby.